Yamaha's LTX with power steering. Of course, it's got the turbo, it's got the 137-inch track, and let's hit the trails. I never met a snowmobile I didn't love, and I love this one, that's for sure. All right, here we go. So this one's got all the Sidewinder goodies to it. It's got heated seats, it's got turbocharged power, it's got IQS shocks, manually adjustable, not the adjust on the fly ones, but these ones are also rebound adjustable as well, so that's a little bit more adjustability there, and it's really a nice package. And I mean, this thing, not a lot new for Yamaha in 2024, but they keep coming to the party with refinements. They make stuff better every year, and Yamaha faithful, you know, this will be another one of your go-to favorite sleds. Haven't spent a ton of time on it yet, but I mean, it's got all the Yamaha feel to it with the Genesis motor, and I mean, just legs for days. With the 137-inch track, I mean, it is a little long sometimes for a trail sled, but I mean, you need that 137-inch track to get the bite, otherwise you're just blowing it all out under the snow flap. There's just so much power with these Genesis motors that you need that extra track length, and it does a very good job of bridging the bumps and just creating a really nice ride. And of course, again, legs for days on these things. Now, one of the things I like about this trim package, it gets you the IQS shocks, and these shocks are, I think, some of my favorite in the business, especially with the rebound damping. It does add a little complexity, but overall they are a very simple shock absorber to tune to your riding style and conditions. 3 positions on the top button, and each position makes a huge difference in the feel of the sled and the seat of the pants. So you know, if you want to soften it up, you know, 1 or 2 clicks if you're on full firm, or go the other way, 1 or 2 clicks, and you can feel it immediately in how the sled is reacting going down the trail. And you can harshen it up if you got those big sucker bumps where you're going to be, you know, riding moguls at the end of a weekend. But if you want to soften it down when the trails are like they are today here in West Yellowstone, we got like a foot of snow, so the trails are soft. Soften the suspension right up, and this thing is just butter smooth on these trails. And it's got speed, but I think we know that by now, that the Yamaha Sidewinder is a sled that has all kinds of speed to it. You know what? I can feel the heated seat coming through. It's not the heated seats on these things. It's not like a car where it really gets warm. Obviously, you got nothing on your back, but it does. You feel a little bit coming through at the bottom there. Just sort of takes a little bit of the edge off. Nice. Now, I should also talk on this sled. This one has power steering. That's the other thing you get with this package, is power steering. And I'll say it again. When I first saw power steering on a sled, which goes back a number of years ago now with the Apex, I thought, what a ridiculous thing to throw on a snowmobile. But the more you ride a sled with power steering, especially one that, let's face it, is a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier on the front end, like these Sidewinders are, that power steering just does an absolute excellent job of making the sled feel a lot lighter. And it's progressive too, so as your speed goes up, it doesn't make the bars go numb in your hand. You always got that feel of what the sled is doing underneath you. It's not like it just sort of divorces you from the ride experience. And of course, when you're slowing down, we got a stop sign. I mean, it's just so easy to turn. Like, I got one hand on it and just so easy. I could see myself putting a lot of miles on this sled. So good.
I didn't know it at the time when I was riding the LTX that this sled is going to be the pinnacle of this model. And that's because we all know now that Yamaha is going to cease production of snowmobiles after model year 2025. And knowing that information kind of changes how you evaluate not only the LTX, but all of Yamaha sleds. Over the last few years, it seems like the whole snowmobile community, both inside and outside the Yamaha Lovers Club, have been becoming increasingly critical of the lack of development for the Yamaha lineup. Big things like the chassis, styling, and technology have all been falling behind as other manufacturers have been pushing hard on all these fronts. I know I've been critical in the past of things like the gauge, which is shit. And it's unlikely to change from model year 25, the last year of production for Yamaha. Likewise, I don't suspect there's going to be any suspension changes, and obviously no new chassis despite really hoping for a blue catalyst. Across the lineup, the SRV chassis is in its sunset and just about to dip below the horizon. But throughout all the years of production, the team at Yamaha and Arctic Cat have made constant improvements to these sleds, most of which have been beneath the skin as they resolved durability issues and made other tweaks to the chassis and suspension, focusing on optimizing everything they could throughout the life cycle of the chassis. And what we're left with is one heck of a snowmobile. 200-ish horsepower at sea level, making it blisteringly fast, and we have one of the best suspensions on the snow with the Fox QS3 shocks that are simple to understand and make changes to that you can instantly feel. Plus, we have a great looking sled on the snow. There is just something about blue bodywork on a white background that just looks so good. And the ride experience is as good as it looks. The chassis is a comfortable place to be for both long and short rides, but I do find you have to put some effort in. But if you're willing to do the work, this sled is as fast as any other on the snow when needed. Also, it's super docile when the pace mellows out. It always amazes me how a sled with 200 horsepower can putt-putt around all day long on a family type ride where the speeds never reach the posted limit and it doesn't care. This sled won't foul up, it has a light throttle for smaller hands, the clutch engagement is buttery smooth, the suspension is supple, all making this sled an easy one to ride. Then, at the end of the day, without missing a beat, you can rip this machine across the lake for a pass better than 100 miles an hour. I've had the opportunity to spend a lot of time on Yamaha sleds like this LTX over the years with STV, and thinking back, they've left me with so many good memories and experiences, I wouldn't know where to start in telling these stories. So for right now, I'm forgetting about stuff like the terrible gauge and just accepting it for what it is. And once you do that, you strip away all your expectations and are left with the enjoyment of what is a great snowmobile. I'm still unhappy about Yamaha leaving the industry, but at least they're leaving us with sleds like this.